The Bronze Division champion approaches. I hope you're ready for the challenge awaiting you in the Silver Division. Remember, Soldier's the champion at this level. He'll be watching you.
Dogs nipping at my heels aren't worthy of watching.
What do you need? Now that you are champion of the Bronze Division, the Silver Division awaits. It seems that, indirectly, this serpent has decided to keep your career interesting. A demon has been added to the regular roster since your earlier victory, and since you've shown aptitude, I'm letting you face him first. This is indeed an honor, though it will not be easy. Are you ready to defeat this horror? Excellent. Follow me and we'll get you ready for your next match.
Will the demon rend flesh from bone, or will a lone warrior prove stronger?
Focus. I have been healed. Focus. Toad demon form. Leaping tiger.
Another demon falls. We shall have to add a new division for you alone if this keeps up. Kylon the Serpent wishes to speak with you personally. This is a rare honor. Do try to be polite. You have already been granted access to the back room of the arena, and the Serpent's private chamber is just off of it. You may as well go now and see what he wants. Oh, and one other thing. The Serpent has requested that you visitate him alone. I know you usually have a friend with you, but they'll have to remain behind for this meeting.
With Crimson Kana out of the way, my job is going to be much easier. What do you want? Good. Only come to me when you have business to conduct. I'm not here to debate philosophy or discuss the conditions of the weather.
We should have told you that Kylon will only see you alone. Are you ready to go in now?
I don't think you should go in there. The Serpent is no good for anybody. I'll be around if you need me.
It is vital that we talk a moment. You handled yourself well against the demonic servitor. It was a rewarding experience for us both, I'm sure. Take this as my thanks. You are a young man, but I know you have the wisdom to see that my friendship has advantages. You may find that certain opportunities, mutually rewarding arrangements between us, will come your way in the near future. Cheat is such a pedestrian term. I prefer to think of myself as a creative engineer. Like the fountains that channel water throughout the land, I spread entertainment to the people. Right now is an interesting time for an organization known as the Guild. I've no doubt that Kui has told you about us, if you didn't already know. Our organization is involved in many different activities, most of which operate below the view of the authorities of this great empire. Come now. We're above calling each other names, aren't we? The Guild, you see, has recently developed a vacancy in its upper echelons. A man by the name of Gao the Greater has been killed, and with his death, a new leader must be chosen. I intend to replace him in that role, and I need good people to back me. Did you? An interesting claim. And one I'm not sure I believe. You don't match the description we have of the killer, but then the descriptions are fairly tenuous. If you are the one who killed Gao, then I owe you a favor. Consider my reluctance to turn you into the Lotus Assassins a repayment for that debt in full. There is the matter, however, of your friend, Whirlwind. I'm sure you know that he was one of the fighters here and that he left the arena. But do you know why? How perceptive of you. Whirlwind's past is certainly a colorful one. Did he tell you that he was thrown out of the arena? Public displays of rage and drunkenness, uttered threats of murder, excessive violence, property damage, and I believe several charges of defecating in public. If you trust him, you are a fool. The Black Whirlwind is an impressive fighter, but he is better avoided than confronted. We couldn't let him fight as he was, so he left. His brother, Raging Ox, wisely stayed here and went on to become champion. You could reach that point yourself, you know. Indeed, that's a distinct possibility. To become champion yourself, you will need my support. That means you and I will work together closely. You place yourself in a precarious position, my young friend. I would hate to see your career stagnate. You see... What is that noise?
Hey, you can't...
Damn you, serpent! I'll kill you where you stand!
No, you won't, Whirlwind. Just like last time, you will leave. I can see that this polite discussion has concluded, as so many do, in your odorous presence. We may talk again, perhaps.
we're leaving now. You and I have to talk. Alone. It's important. Look, you can't trust Kylon. I know he was probably offering you the world, or maybe all the wine in it if he were really crafty, but...
You didn't honestly think you were going to slip down here after that little display, did you, Whirlwind?
Step back, Joe. For once in my life, I've got something important to tell someone.
You have nothing important to say, you lummox. You've embarrassed Kylon the Serpent, and I'm going to make sure you never get a chance to repeat your performance.
I've been waiting for this. Time to cut off the Serpent's tail!
You can't... Focus.
He fought like a monster for a little guy. Good point, but he was particularly plucky. It's nice when they stick around longer so you can practice your moves. Not the first time I've gone up against one of Kylon's thugs, you know. Not at all. Remember I told you I used to fight in the arena? Well, I was the best there was. Then my brother came to the city and decided he'd join the arena too. The arena was about the same as it is now. Kui and Kylon were there, and Lucky Cho too, but he was just a runt back then. My brother became the arena champion, the Raging Ox. They said he retired, but he didn't retire. He was killed. I should know. I'm the one who killed him. Raging Ox was one of Kylon's men. Well, he wasn't always. Kylon approached me first, and when I turned him down, he went to my brother instead. When Ox joined up with Kylon, I stopped getting good matches. Ox was fighting his way to becoming champion, and doing a little work for the guild on the side. He was so cocksure and wouldn't listen to his older brother. Once he fell in with Kylon, he stopped talking to me. Soon Ox became Kylon's enforcer and carried out his bidding. He'd skulk around in robes so no one would know the arena champion was a common thug. One night I followed Ox back to Kylon's. I was drunk and I was mad. I just wanted to tell Ox how dangerous Kylon was, convince him to leave. But Kylon was there. He tried to interfere. I attacked him, and Ox tried to stop me. When it was over, Ox was dead, and my axe was covered in his blood. Kylon just stood there, smiling. I would have killed him if I wasn't so stunned. After that, I left. For the first time in my life, I ran. I ran, and then I drank myself into a stupor that lasted for half a year. You do what you have to in the arena. Just don't fool yourself about working with a serpent. Lucky Cho's death just put you on the Serpent's wanted list. I'd really like to see Kylon's face if you become arena champion. Of course, I'd rather just kill him. Come on, let's go.
I'm not really in the mood for company. Judge Fang wanted me to try something special last night, and I still haven't quite recovered yet. Get rid of him? What do you mean? Remove him from office, or something else? Really? I was hoping you wanted to kill him. The world would be a better place with that disgusting pig dead and buried. But as much as I want to see his bloated corpse floating in the gutter, Fang is a dangerous man and he keeps my pockets lined with silver. I hope Fang gets what he deserves, but you'll have to do it without my help. No. Even if I was willing to give up all that silver, if Fang finds out, he'll make sure I spend the rest of my days begging for death. It's not worth the risk. Wow, that is a lot of silver. And I'd love to get out from under Fang's boot heel. I'll help you. You wanted Fang dead, right?
I know I'd want him dead, but are we sure that's what the Inquisitors are looking for?
It'd be easier to kill him. Fang's reputation is already as dirty as it can get. As long as it doesn't get in the way of his job, everybody just turns a blind eye. Well, every document Judge Fang approves has to be stamped with his imperial ring. Losing the ring is a major offense. And if it was revealed he lost the ring during one of his sexual escapades, even Fang wouldn't want that to come out.
What are you doing here, Breezes? You know I don't like it when people see us together in public.
Don't be mad, my mighty and manly Fang. I was just hoping we could go upstairs for a bit. I've got a treat for you. Here's a hint. They're silk.
I'm surprised you're so eager after last night. I'm glad to see you're finally becoming more receptive to my special needs. Well done, Breezes. If a little tame for my tastes. I think tonight you should wear the blindfold. I have some interesting surprises in store for you.
I can hardly wait, oh great and virile Fang. Here's the ring. Fang will do anything to keep people from finding out he lost it to a whore, even if it means resigning his post. Show the ring to his guards and they'll let you through. I better disappear for a while, but make sure you tell him where you got it. He'll be sorry he ever touched me.
Saw you out there in the ring. You got real potential. Even Fang was impressed. But that doesn't mean he wants you blocking his view, so back up. He comes here to watch the fights, not talk to the fighters. I guess he figures the more he talks to you, the less time you have to inflict horrible, bloody carnage on someone in the ring. How did you get... No, forget it. I don't want to know. You better go talk to Fang about that ring. Yeah, we don't want any part of this. You better go talk to Fang about that ring. Yeah, we don't want any part of this.
Some of these new fights can be delightfully savage. Damn it! I want more blood down there!
What? What do you want? Nothing's changed since the last time you asked me. Unless I passed out. Did I pass out? No, how could I? I haven't been drinking. Whatever.
Do you mind? How can I enjoy the crack of bone, the screams of pain, and the glorious geysers of crimson blood down in the arena with you bothering me? Or are you here to offer me your services for later? I generally prefer women, but I might branch out if a handsome man like you is willing to beg. Is that so? Let me guess. Some sense of moral outrage at my perversions, no doubt. Well, my tastes are already well known at the Imperial Court. Nobody cares about my predilections, as long as I don't let my activities interfere with my duties as a judge. My ring? But how... That harlot. I should have suspected something when she came to me willingly. Usually I have to command her presence. Well, it seems you have me in an awkward position. I can't let it be known that I was foolish enough to let a whore steal my ring. I would lose my position. So, what is it you want from me? Silver? An imperial posting? What? Of course. Now I understand. The Lotus Assassins are behind this, aren't they? I should have known something like this would happen. They tried to bend me to their will, but I'm not easily broken. Or so I thought. Are you proud of yourself? Bowing and scraping at the feet of your Lotus Assassin masters, helping them to bring me down? You think I'm an evil man, don't you? You think my soul is rotten and corrupt. But at least I have a soul. The same cannot be said for those you now serve. The Lotus Assassins destroyed me. But now that I am gone, I wonder where their attention will turn next. Keep a close watch over your shoulder, friend. My resignation is on the table. Take it and stamp it with my imperial ring yourself.
They say you're in good with the guild. You're allowed into the back rooms where Sweet Poison Lynn runs her shop, aren't you? I have a favor to ask of you when you have a moment. My name's Gambler Daushan, by the way. I run the straightest dice in the Imperial City. I wouldn't want to feed my children with tarnished silver, would I? Good odds and fair play. That's how I keep them coming back. A simple enough game called high-low. You predict how you'll roll against my toss and double your coin if you're right. You'll catch on easily enough, I'm sure. I know you're allowed to go freely into the back room past Kui's office. Would you carry a message to someone in there for me? There's a merchant in the back named Sweet Poison Lynn. She has connections with the guild, the real authorities in this place. I want to expand my operation, but without the guild's approval and protection, I can only take very small bets. If I made any larger transactions, they'd be quite upset. I spoke to some of the lesser guild members, and there's a set fee that must be paid to Sweet Poison Lynn. It took me some time to save up the silver, but I have the fee. I just can't get back there to talk to Lynn and pay her directly. If you could go in there and pay her on my behalf, I'd happily repay you. I would never do that. I'd be shut down or worse in a heartbeat. And there's too many people who'd happily report the infraction to Sweet Poison Lynn. The guild rewards those who can prove that people in my position aren't playing by their rules. A richer game with higher bets, of course. I'm sorry I can't offer you more, but you must admit this is a small favor. My thanks. I'm sure Sweet Poison Lynn knows about my interest. I've been angling this deal for a while. You should run back there now. The sooner you go, the sooner we can up the antes.
What do you need from me? Dao Shen? He has angled for a long time for our permission to run a larger game. He's honest to a fault, but he still pulls in a fair bit of cash. I was wondering if he'd be resourceful enough. One of my associates has already told him of the cost involved. Are you here to deliver his payment? His payment? Good. Give it to me, and I'll send someone to go discuss the new terms of his operation. Now, back to our business, yes? I have my sources, some of them rich, some of them poor, and all of them very concerned with their privacy. These fine wares may have changed hands a few times over history, but that's the nature of such things. If you're that worried, don't buy anything. Do you have any idea how much magic the arena itself holds? These walls have seen more than you or I can imagine, and there's enough security for me not to worry. What the Imperial bureaucrats don't know won't hurt them. First they decree wind maps off limits, and now there's concern over magical artifacts. Certain items have always been considered questionable, but enforcement has been more strict in the past few years. All I really know is that the restrictions have done wonders for my customers' tolerance for raised prices. What more could I ask for? Magical enhancements and knowledge.
Before you say a thing, I had a visit from one of Sweet Poison Lynn's contacts. Fantastic news! I can up the bets! Now you can wager 10 or 25 silver on each roll. This is perfect! And I have you to thank. Thank you again for paying the fee from your own silver. Here's your repayment and a little extra for your time. A thousand thanks to you. I promise to use your generous gift wisely. Now that we can play for larger bets, what say we set up a game? That's what I was waiting to hear. So what'll it be? Will your roll be higher or lower than mine? High it is. Let's see how sure you are. How much will you bet? Let's see how they fall, shall we? Not enough spin on the wrist to best my roll, it seems. Don't worry, you'll make it back on the next round. What say we try again? Thanks again for all your help. Be seeing you around, I hope.
I want to hear that you're ready for your next fight. What do you need? This next fight should be fairly simple for you. I once more want to send you up against 4 opponents. The crowd loves those fights. These are tougher than the students you faced before, but should pose no problem. Are you ready to get started? Excellent.
We found him just like this.
You did?
3 Reach, the old stableman, found him. He kept everyone else out.
We can trust him. What about Cho? Do we know who's responsible?
Last I saw of him, he was following Silver Phoenix.
He fights next, doesn't he? Replace the men slated for that match with our own, and ensure that their blades are coated with extract from the ebon orchid. Even the ancient magic of this place could not neutralize that poison.
It will be done. What about Lucky Cho? There are hundreds of people here to see the new fighter. We can't carry the body out of here.
Then we don't. You must always use the resources available to you.
Flashing blades and deadly grace.
Dire Leaping tiger. This is your. I am perfection. Focus. My stuff. Focus. You cannot compare.
I do not know who those men were. The fighters I picked for you to face were not guild men, and they certainly lack poison-coated blades. The wards are useless against poison. That's a danger we have never been able to solve. Those men were Kailan's, not mine. I keep myself as far away from that end of things as I can. You have to believe that I look out for my fighters. Just before you came up here, I received word from one of the guild men from outside the arena. They send their apologies. I believe they feel Kailan's actions were not appropriated to the situation. You shouldn't have to fear assassins again, not after that message. You are not hearing this from me, but tensions have risen between the Serpent and the Guild itself. He's making a bid for control, and some factions are quite upset. You may feel caught in the middle, but the weather sages say the eye of the storm is the safest place. When you walk the streets, I want to hear that you're ready for your next fight. What do... We've had a request from the Imperial Army. They want one of our best to help them test out a small group of war machines known as golems. I've decided to put you up against them. I want you to prove that our folks are superior to anything the Army could devise. Are you ready to show them what you've got?